was watching a video and I gotta share what I've noticed. What I noticed about my out processing of the United States Army. What do you have to do? Okay, well, one of the things you have to do before you can get out of the military is you have to go through psych. You have to go through the make sure you're not crazy and you don't got no problems or anything. You got to go through a psychological evaluation. That's what I'm talking about. We call it psych. You gotta clear psych because you get this pamphlet when you're anytime you're in processing into the military or you're out processing from a duty station. You gotta process in, you gotta process out. It's the same way when you're getting out of the military. You gotta process out, and one of the processes is going through the psych ward. Okay, I know. I'm not making any sense because it's like I'm trying to piece it back together. Anyways, when I went through my psychological evaluation, I was talking to the counselor, and the lady was like, here, she gave me the book, and she said, okay, go through this book and tell me which things you think you have, and we'll go ahead and give you them. PTSD is like a guaranteed automatic. There's no issue at all in getting a PTSD claim. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, isn't it your job to decide if I'm not crazy? And she's like, it's okay, just pick one. And you know what? I walked out of that psych thing. I walked out saying I'm fully sane. 100% sane. Because back in 2012, when I was sitting there and out processing and they're asking me about that, my first thought was, gee, I can never buy a gun if I'm psychologically got some psychological problem, right? Yeah. I think that's actually how it works where I live currently. I could be wrong. Now, I don't buy guns because, one, I have no need for them. Two, I don't really have the money for them. And to buy one, I can't justify spending the money to buy one. Three, I'm never gonna use it, so do I need it? Okay, I'm never gonna use it as in, if society doesn't collapse and everything, I'm never gonna need it. Because I really would have no need for it. If society does collapse and I don't have it, sucks to be me, but at that same time, it goes back to the cost. I don't really want to spend any money, and it's like if I was to get one, I'd want to get a really expensive, good quality one. So for me, I just don't even bother buying one because of those three reasons, and I don't want anyone to think at all that I'm going to be violent. I don't want anyone to even try to accuse me of being violent. Will I defend myself to the death? Absolutely. I will. I'll fight to the death. But I just don't want to have to buy a tool that's only purpose is death. I like multi-tools. I like tools with multiple purposes. Like an axe. An axe has a lot of great different purposes. It doesn't have just one purpose. Or a sword, or a knife. They got multiple purposes. It's not just to kill things. It's a tool. And when I look at a gun, man, a gun's it's just there to kill things. And when you're not killing things, you're practicing so you can get good at killing things. So I'm not too worried about guns. It's just if I only wanted one for hunting purposes. That's really it. I hope that if society was to collapse where I am because it's such a desert, I was hoping that I would have a higher chance of survivability because I know how to survive in the desert. And so, if I really need to, I can bug out for a few months up in the woods, depending on the time, that's the thing. If society's most likely going to collapse in a winter time, right? So usually in a time when you're not ready would be a good time for the government to take over. That's why when the cold seasons always should be. Damn it, dog. The cold season should always be the time that you're most nervous about anyone, like government or collapse, it's be wintertime, because that's the time you really can't do anything about it without being prepared. Now, you can go ahead and you can do a bunch of cool stuff if it wants to shut down in like early spring. It might suck for a bit, but it's definitely not going to be as bad as the beginning of winter. Because essentially, you're getting it ready to be set in your place. My dogs are not going to let me charge my phone at the same time, so we're just going to give up on that. I hope having it plugged into the audio port didn't screw up anything. Hi. Hey, I got the puppers with me today. I decided I didn't have to sweep and mop later, so because we have enough people to do it, so it was actually a really chill day. Not that much on tips, but I'm fine with that. I just needed some time off, and I'm glad he made a good amount, you know, keep him interested, keep him happy about his job. I think that's also why I didn't just make him as much. That and we stopped getting orders after certain times, so the flow has definitely been shifted. I think it's just because he's new and we're really just kind of we were interested in talking to him, you know. Business will pick up again later. Oh yeah, you watch my channel now too. Hey. But yeah, business was slow last couple days. And I think it's just because me and Chris were both just kind of interested in you, and so we were taking our break from work real fast just to hang out with you and see who you are. I think that's what happened, but Sunday should be really chill. Yeah, like Sunday should be chill. And then Mondays, chill. Tuesdays, I gotta go to a manager on that day, but I get to come in late. I could come in early if I wanted to, but I think I'll come in late. Definitely. Well, not late. I mean, like, come in on time, but I don't have to come in at 5:30. Yeah. Trying to survive in a collapse situation. That could be difficult. And depending on where you are, how you are, type of people you live around, scavenging is or is not a possibility. I would say, like me, I am kind of a scavenger kind of guy, but I ain't the type of guy to be stealing other people's stuff. So it's like, I honestly, I'm the type of guy to try to check to see if is anyone at the property before I just willy-nilly go grab something. You know, it's like, I don't want to be stealing from someone else because I don't want someone else to come steal from me. See, if I steal from someone else, then someone else can come steal from me, so I don't want to do that, you know what I mean? If I don't steal from anyone else, then they can't really steal from me. It's the rule. Do unto others as you would want others to do to you or for you. And in that aspect, sometimes I kind of fail. But I can understand. I do my best to be honorable with everything that I do or say. For example, I don't like to lie, because the lies always come out. There's certain things you just don't need to know because it's personal. I can have something personal. Jesus. Oh, hi. My car is not turning very well because it needs new axles. Oh no, I'm sorry. It needs me to put in the new axles. And I'll do that Monday morning. No. Yeah, if I can get that nut off before Monday morning, maybe we'll think about that. I think I already bent my breaker bar. Going into collapse at this time of year, it sucked. You'd want to have preparations. Things put off to the side, definitely. See, I don't think it's all going to collapse yet. 2020, something could happen in 2020. 2020 seems like it's a good year to have shit fucking hit the fan. And apparently everyone in Nevada has said by 2020 we have to be using more renewable energy sources. And I'm wondering if I'm even going to be able to drive a vehicle anymore at that point. A lot of people thought that was just such a cool thing, but define renewable energy and then define mandatory and then define exactly what is going to be on that list. Honestly, it just seemed like a slippery slope to me, so I was like, no! But it's a yes. So, but no, you can, the Nevada's power is going to stay on the private level and it's not going to be shared. Okay. Oh, whatever. I guess that's the great thing about being rural. In the most rural place, it's so rural that no one even really mentions you guys in the news. Because you're from where? You're from where? Where? Huh? Where? Exactly. No one wants to live in this desert. No one wants to live in this nuclear test site. Oh, no one wants to live where all the secret bases are. Oh, that's a horrible idea. I'll tell you what. It's fucking Nevada. You know what I've always found really interesting about Nevada, though? You can be in the middle of the desert, and then all of a sudden, you're in the middle of a farm. And you're like, holy shit. This wasn't on no Google map. You'd be trudging along in a dry riverbed, and all of a sudden you find an oasis, and you're like, holy shit, there's fish in here. How the fuck these fish get in here? They've been there the whole time. Somehow reproducing in that little puddle over and over and over again. I assume cannibalization at some point in order to survive, or maybe a constant routine of it. But there was some fish. There's some fish in these ponds. They've been there for a very long time. What would that be like, right? There should be a fish in the middle of a desert in a tiny little pool of water. Can't leave it. Can't go nowhere. You're waiting for a big flood to come by before you could ever even dream of leaving that little pond. You ain't leaving that pond. You ain't leaving that pond until something big changes. Something big happens. A wave comes by, sweeps you off your feet, and sweeps you out of that little pond, and puts you in a bigger pond, or maybe it washes you into a river that eventually leads to an ocean. Oh, don't go into the dip. Oh, thank you. This fucking car. I should just get out and put some power steering fluid in it and stop bitching about it. You know, it's like, I don't claim to know a lot. I really don't. I've always had different ideas than everyone else.